Vishwa Vidyapeetham, have you developed any models that you're talking about to perhaps fill the gap that you also mentioned, this gap where we do not have connected knowledge, which perhaps is the need of the hour?
Yeah, in several dimensions, especially one of our visionary teachers, KP Soman, he has introduced a curriculum which looks at things from a multidisciplinary perspective. So we were talking about the flow curriculum in the schools, but we are also in need of this multidisciplinary aspect. So a simple, again a grade 6 problem, there are 2 bananas and 3 mangoes which cost 13. There are 3 bananas and 2 mangoes which cost 12. Now this can be expressed as a matrix. It looks like a grade 6 word problem, right? But the whole world's LLM works on a matrix vector multiplication. So the moment when we talk about a multidisciplinary curriculum, we are looking at how do we infuse the linear algebra fundamentals, the concept of pseudo-inverse, into solving digital filter design, into solving inverse kinematics in mechatronics, mechanical and electronics, digital filter design in electronics, signal processing across engineering subjects. So a person in his first year becomes very strong in terms of problem solving and not necessarily in terms of just grabbing several different facts from several different domains. So he's very strong in problem solving. He develops a perspective, and using this perspective, he can launch into bigger methods. Now he can think what is a multi-level, multi-head latent model in a DeepSeek. He can easily understand that. He can understand how DeepSeek has changed the routing of the mixture of experts model. All this happens in the first year. So similarly, we've got the curriculum which is coming down from, we are kind of simplified from throughout the globe, especially we've got Stanford and Berkeley, professors from Stanford and Berkeley who actually deliver great pedagogy. We simplify that, and for example, ADMM, Advanced Directing Method of Multipliers, we basically bring that down to the first year engineering graduate level. So the students are extremely good, and no matter, it's actually paying a lot of dividends.
That's really interesting because, a lot of comments from a lot of people in the corporate world seem to suggest that perhaps the graduates or people who are, getting into the job market are not really ready for jobs because they know how the problems of the past were solved, but they aren't really ready or well equipped to solve the problems of the future. And that's the gap we need to really fill. People like Elon Musk and many such people, in fact, have said this. They also feel that university degree is not something that people need today. They need their mind to be developed to be able to grasp and solve the problems of tomorrow, which anybody can learn through internet. You've got artificial intelligence. If you know how to use the tools correctly, you can learn anything, anytime. How will you like to respond to these kind of comments?
No, this is extremely important because you mentioned Elon Musk. When I was working in General Motors research, Elon Musk was working, this was in 2008-ish, Elon Musk was working on the infrastructure for charging infrastructure. At that time, even the electric vehicle was not really on vogue in full scale. He didn't have the Tesla as ripe and mature as now. And now he's talking about artificial womb. So our education system should not just be job focused, but it should also be a system where visionaries are created. The jobs get created out of your problem solving acumen. The moment you can solve a problem, you can create jobs. We need people who don't just occupy jobs, but we need people who can create jobs. And how do we create these people who can create jobs? By giving a very strong foundational structure. Now, if you really think about all these job losses, there is this market research, there is this product research, product conception, then solutioning process, and then implementation of the solution. Within implementation of solution, there is the tool selection, there is systems design, and then there is coding. There is so much of hula bula about vibe coding and the loss of jobs in vibe coding. There's a big spectrum out there. This is meant for visionaries and the future shapers of the world. We are only talking about this. Now, there is a disproportionate amount of volume and scale involved here. That doesn't mean it adds to disproportionate amount of value. It adds to some value, but so does all these other processes. Let's have that perspective and let's create full spectrum professionals. And that's what we need to do. And this is exemplified in how we are already thinking about the quantum future at Amrita. So we've got Professor Parameshwaran who is actually making this deal with Quantum AI Global, where this whole concept of deep learning and training deep learning and linear vector spaces, we are taking it to another level in quantum, again for the first and second year engineering students. That's how we need to approach things.
Okay. And how has been the response of the students of these changes that are now coming into the education system? What do they have to say?
The students are very excited. One of the changes we brought was the lecturing, the passive lecturing session is passé. It's just passé. So let's have lecture sessions only till noon, and from noon you get into vibe coding. Just tell us excitedly what you did in vibe coding today. What kind of front end you developed? What kind of back end you developed? Did you use all your, cursors and windsurfs and bolts of the world? What did you come up with? You teach us back, and then you get into the maker space. Do something. Integrate your LLM with robotics, autonomous systems. Write some small treatise on how do you integrate LLMs and how do you look at robotics through LLMs? How do you look at multifunctional materials through LLMs? How do you look at nanobiosensors through LLMs? Use ChatGPT, because ChatGPT is there. Use it. Tell us. So we basically are building an ecosystem where student, the man, the machine, the hardware, and the intelligence through all these tools have to be put together, and the faculty should be facilitators around. Passive lecturing won't cut beyond a certain point. Now, some of the YouTubes does a better job than, in terms of attention span at least, right?
Is the focus now more on creating innovators?
Absolutely. That is the lifeline of India, because traditionally, if you think about our country, it has always been innovation focused. If you look at any traditional Indian knowledge system, there are two big strengths of this country. One is the humility and dedication for innovation, which is what is our culture? Our culture is, we've got parents who are very responsible towards their children. We've got both parents and children responsible towards their teacher. Guru Gobind, Dovu Kade, Kake Lagom Pai, Balihari Guru Apne, Govind Diyo Batai. That's our culture, right? And traditional knowledge systems, if you look at Thiruvalluvar, saint like Thiruvalluvar, he says, Miginum, Kureinum, Noiseyum, Nulor, Vadimudala, Enniya Mundru. Which basically translates that the three big things, transport, inflammation, and storage, are necessarily to be in a balance for homeostasis. That's a traditional Ayurveda. We've got 5 or 6 terms for cancer in Ayurveda. We were always seekers. We want to build our traditional knowledge. Now, innovation can come out of need. Innovation can come out of deep intuition. Innovation can come out of deep systematic thinking, or it can just come out of sheer brilliance. Whatever it is, innovation should be very useful for the society. It should be a compassionate innovation. From a realized perspective of loving all and serving all, very compassionate innovation. And that's very profound.
And last question, with this in mind, how will a future university look like?
Yeah, so we want to build this compassionate innovation, and we want all these innovators doing all the new technologies along with the Indian knowledge systems, take them in the right spirit with the modern science, and that's how we wanted to see. And this is in fact the vision of our Divine Chancellor Amma, to have this compassionate innovation. That's what we're moving towards.
Thank you so much. Wonderful speaking with you, and we got a sense of how you are bringing in AI into the education system, which definitely will help India take the advantage of the demographic dividend that we have, and of course an important role India will play, and these innovators will play in ensuring we become a developed nation by 2047. Thank you so much for speaking with us. A big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, thank you so much, sir, as well as Hina as well for that illuminating conversation. Hina, I'm going to request you to please offer Mr. Sundarakrishnan a small token of our appreciation, graciously offered by our luxury partner, the Milano.